workshops you can take. You do need, if you don't have an agent down here, it's a good thing to get a demo. So finding someone who can help you do a voiceover demo is important. Finding someone who's willing to work with you to literally find your voice. It's not just like, oh, here's a McDonald's copy. Here's the, like, I really apparently have a very specific sound, and there are things that I would not do well. And there's other things that I do very well that nobody would ever, like, you would not look at Kim Rhodes and think, sure, put her in for the role of a 6-year-old boy. But actually, I am very good for roles of 6-year-old boys because I have a lot of funny voices that are going on. Because because I spent a lot of time at the dog park. That's how I found my, that's actually how I got my current voiceover agents. I'm with Vox. And it's because I used to go to the dog park, and I was not like consciously auditioning for her. She's just a friend. But you know, like all the dogs, they all have very different voices, and I'm just a guy, and I have to narrate their experience in the dog park because their experience in the dog park. And she finally was like, "Who are you with voiceover?" And I told her who I was with. She was like, "Do you like him?" I said, "Well, I've never actually booked anything, and I've been with him for 5 years, but you know, I'm not really good at it." She went, "We need to fix that."
Or you've been told that, or you've been told.
Yeah. So I think just having fun, that's a good prep for voiceover. Now, what was your experience going into it, B?
Well, when I started doing voiceover, like 10, 15 years ago, but it was like radio and TV commercials, mostly. It was like, marketing voiceover. And so I just auditioned, I think, for my first, this Netflix show I'm on is my first cartoon. And they knew it was my first cartoon, and the producers, the show originated in the UK with Netflix in the UK, and they came over and they like had to have a sit down with me because they had, I think, another actress on before me. I don't know. And they were like, this is how it works. And they were like, I play a pug, a mama pug. And so they were like, look at dog videos, like watch. I had to like research pugs. And so that was kind of funny. But also I sat in on another cartoon, a very popular cartoon that records here in Vancouver. And these are usually animation actors, are kind of famous and do a bunch of cartoons at the same time, and they're unbelievable. When the director goes, new choice, they can come up with like a new character in seconds. And it was, for me, it was mind-blowing, especially because some of these actors I know, and I was like, I had no idea you could do that. It's a skill on its own. And so I sat in on some recordings, which are recorded in like a radio show would be recorded. Everybody's in the room at the same time, which is really very, very, very fun. It's hysterical. It's kind of like being in a theater rehearsal is what it reminds me of. We're all cracking each other up. I don't know. That was kind of new and very nerve-wracking. When I do something new and I'm not immediately good at it, I convince myself that I don't like it. So that was what I thought about animation at first, is I was like, I don't like this. I don't like it. It's fine. And that's really my ego going, you get fired, you'll be okay because you don't like it anyway, which is not true. But I fucking love it. I love it so much, and I'm so grateful for it. But yeah, I started in voiceover for commercials and was doing that for years, which is so different than doing animation. I'm grateful for both.
Yay! Krista's calling us out. Krista Martin.
Yesterday.
Many of us are gifting today, and Team Wayward as fuck misses you. Did you enjoy any part of Gishing? I enjoyed Krista. I enjoyed you very much. I enjoyed my teammates a lot. I enjoyed expressing an irreverent sense of humor. I enjoyed the camaraderie.
It was so funny. I was just literally talking about this yesterday, maybe at my meet and greet or maybe with somebody in a one-on-one, I can't remember, but I was specifically talking about Krista, about how the only time, how I just don't understand, like my brain cannot wrap itself around what Gish is and how it works. And everybody's like, that's the point. And I was like, I don't know where to begin with that. But I love what it's become. And it's kind of just unbelievable. whatever it is, it's an enigma wrapped in enigma, wrapped in enigma, wrapped around Misha Collins, which is an enigma, wrapped around enigma. And when we did Gish, I remember not understanding, and Krista being our leader, and Kim and I every day go, I'm so sorry. Like, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. We're the worst. I'm so sorry. And Kim and Krista was always like, calm down, ladies. This is supposed to be for fun. Like, she was a true leader in the sense of, like, I was such a fuck up during Gish. I was like, I think I did one thing. One, maybe. And she was like, great job. And I was like, fuck. So thank God for Krista. So what I loved about it was I loved being a part of it, because it did make me go, I'm doing this thing that everybody talks about. So I can understand why all of you like to do it so much. But for me, because I didn't know what I was doing, and then inevitably, and so I will own that this was totally my fault, I didn't know what I was doing. And so I did the least amount I can. Don't do what I do. Don't do what Brianna did. Dig in. I pulled back instead, which I should have. I now see I should have dug in further to go, well, I don't understand this. Let me just fucking figure it out. So do that instead.
Yeah, dive in. I just don't have, and I know everybody does. A lot of people enjoy putting life on hold. I do not have a life that easily gets put on hold. That was the difficulty for me, is the you need to be kind of all in, and even though everybody kept going, do as much or as little as you can, I was like, that's not how my brain works. If something is there, then it's just going to keep boom, 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 and I will feel like a failure if I'm not doing as much as I possibly can. But I did enjoy climbing in the dumpster and having someone take a picture of me that said cardboard only. That made me laugh.
And didn't you do something pervy with stuffies or something?
Oh, I did a whole bunch of pervy things, and then they were like, you can't submit 5 pictures. So my husband made a collage of it, and nobody could really see. But yeah, what are the toys doing at night? I had a bunch of I managed to rig up some very impressive BDSM scenarios with some duct tape and stuffies and a Ken doll. Yeah.
I support that. It should be like Gish after hours. I guess Gish is after hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Nathalis Swallow.
I think it's Natalie Swallow. What is your favorite thing? Yeah. Natalie Swallow, what is your favorite thing about Donna and Jody?
Sorry, Natalie. That was okay.
My favorite thing about Jody is how she knows how much love hurts, and she still is all in. Like, she has every reason in the world. Oh, fuck. Oh, yay, it's my first one. I had one it's my first tear up. I have to start referring to her in the past tense. She had every reason in the world to quit, to not love anymore, to just be like, I'm out. I've paid my dues. I'm done. And she still just kept going. Yes. Come home. Yes. Come into my heart. Yes. I will give you this piece of me that I might never see again. And I kind of needed, and it will hurt. But she kept doing it. All right. So I'm going to cough.
Just checking the chat to see if people thought that, they think that Jody's dead. Because we said you have to refer in past tense, which I don't actually know, but I was just checking to see.
Well, I mean, I'm not being quarantined right now in Canada, and they're going to start shooting the last 2 episodes, so I'm fairly certain that if I were coming back in the last 2, I would be doing this from a hotel room in Canada right now.
That's the answers.
That's the answer, and I'm sticking to it. What's your favorite thing about Donna?
Well, what I love, what I love about Donna is I loved playing her was such an easy part, a part of me that was so present in Brianna and yet so different from Brianna. But like when I went into the audition, what happens to me when I'm nervous, and you guys see this, I'm sure, on panels at the conventions all the time, is I get like, hi guys, what's up? What's happening? Now, me at my core, when I'm relaxed and calm, I'm not as like uppity, but that is very Donna. And so I loved playing to that. I loved playing the sunny parts. I love that Donna was not written, and this is a testament to Eric Carmelo, who he and the other brilliant writer on that episode wrote Donna. Somebody must know in the chat. They wrote Donna as this brilliant character who was not a romantic character. She was feminine without being overly feminine, without being overly masculine, even though she was not a romantic character. She, was insecure, but also didn't take her insecurities into her job. Like, she was a very relatable woman in television for a character who was only in 3 scenes. And it was kind of a great opportunity to play a character like that for me, especially in television, because there aren't a lot of characters like that. I think now the landscape is very different than it was 6-7 years ago, but I just kind of love that she has a positive outlook on things that are not that positive. She can just see past the hardships without having to push the hardships away, kind of recognizing that there is something to be gained from them. I don't know. It's so strange. Like, Donna's been, as same with Jodie, it's been such a big part of my life for so long. But also, she just kind of is part of me. Like, Donna is a facet of me. And that comes from how that's my acting process, is I choose to use parts of me and throw them into characters. So she'll always be there, and I'm Canadian. So if I really throw in a thick Canadian accent, then it's not that different from Donna's accent, right? She's always around. I'm just going to check the chat really quick and see if anybody found that answer for me. Guys, I give you one job. Come on now. Come on. Eric, and who wrote that Pish Taco episode? Oh, fuck me. Anyway, okay. We'll move on. If I find it, I find it. Hey, Brittany, if you see it, throw it up there for me. Okay. Camille Oliveira. Kim, can you read these names? I'm terrible at it. Nicole Snyder. Thank you. Nicole Snyder. I knew it was Nicole. Okay. Nicole Snyder, Eric Carmelo. They're the best. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, girls. How do you feel about representing many girls in Supernatural, playing strong women with wonderful stories among various male characters? Great.
Listen, this is, for me, for some reason, this is a loaded question, and I'm probably just going to project shit onto it that Camille did not want to hear. So here you go. I'm sorry, and you're welcome. I do not believe in the trope strong female character, because I feel like what happens is it is a way to pigeonhole or overly characterize and complicate women, which I feel like is something that the Hollywood patriarchy wants to do because it's fucking easy. But what I love, and I'll speak for myself and for Donna, what I love is all these things I was telling you about in the last question, is that I do feel like Donna is complex. And that might be just because I play her and I therefore have her brain, and I can think of her as a complex character, even though she might not be directed or acted or written that way. But I think that women are strong and also weak. And I think that weak women are also allowed to be strong in their own ways that we as society or in television might not see. I think that the strong female character is something that has become trendy in the last 10 years, and I also think it's become lazy. Just so strange to say, and I get it, and you guys can debate me on this, but I think that there is strength in weakness, and I think that needs to be written about more. And I do think that's maybe, I'm going to assume that's maybe what Camille was kind of understanding about our characters, or at least Donna, is that she is strong, even though in her first episode she was trying to get liposuction from a monster. You know what I mean? And I think that is the truth of women, is that strength looks different to everybody, and it doesn't always look like Wonder Woman,
I love that response. Then I want to address the first part of it, of like, how do you feel about representing many girls? And when I first found out that people felt I was representing them, it was terrifying, because all I know how to do well is be me. And I can't bring things to it that will represent girls or women. All I can do is just be me. And then I put it together that's what representing women really is for me, is that when I see someone who is present and specific and authentic, it gives me permission to be present and specific and authentic. And so that has happened with me in my real life. On the show, I'm not in charge of what I do. They tell me what words to say. I don't get to pick them. They tell me who I work with. I don't get to pick it. But in the real world, you have all asked me to raise my own bar because you want to meet your own bar. And
right.
And so what it has done for me, instead of making me responsible for everybody, it has taught me to be responsible for my own authenticity. And and that has been a huge blessing that I've actually received from the Supernatural family, is we see you, we hear you, be more you, that I wouldn't necessarily have been willing to do otherwise.
Brianna!
Hey, honey, how are you? Brianna's here. I know. There's also a bunch of fans here. So we are public, so that means that people can see you, okay? Do you understand that?
Yeah. Hi, Brianna.
Hey, baby, I miss you.
She can't hear you. I've got earpods in. Here. Here, this is one. So you can hear Brianna now.
Hi, Brianna.
Hey, baby, I missed you.
Miss you too.
No, Tilly, are you going to come up too? Are you going to help? Come on up. She's my person. Tilly knew it was her job to keep Tabby controlled and contained. It's okay. We're fine. We're good. All right, Tabby, we're going to keep taking questions.
Okay.
So this is from Jabil Key. At what point did you realize that your characters would be recurring? You know what? I didn't. So for me, I'd been working in TV for approximately 5 seconds. And the dream, because I was in my 30s, that's your senior citizen as a woman in television, I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if like I got a job? And they were like, because at that point I was working as like EMT #1, whatever. Now I'd been working in theater and comedy for decades. But I hadn't worked I was working in TV because I needed a job and needed money, and I was pregnant and lots of reasons. But I was like, wouldn't it be great if they were like, you know what, just come back. That was me going, I don't want to keep auditioning for things because auditioning is so awful and painful. They were like, what if you just came back? And then, this is why I'm a magic manifester, I tell Kim this story all the time. It's my very first episode. I'll never forget when I was like on the massage table and they were the crew was adjusting the VFX things around my back, and I had like my head in the little thing. Phil Segretia stuck his head underneath, and he was like, you know what, there's another character on the show named Sheriff Jody, played by an actress named Kim Rhodes. It would be so funny if you two met at like a sheriff's convention or something. And then Brad Creaser, who's the camera op, he's like, that sounds like a spin-off. And then it was like, and then my brain was just like, and it's done. That's it. And it's done. And I'll never forget, I think because I was like 5-6 months pregnant when I shot that. And then I had my baby and was in the thick of postpartum depression. And then I got a phone call and they were like, Supernatural wants you back. And I was like, I knew it. So I didn't actually think about the characters or the show. I didn't know much about the fandom or anything like that. I knew that I got along really well with Jordan Jensen, which I think Phil clocked early on. He was like, why are the boys laughing so hard at this lady? All I thought about was like my personal experience in the world with people. I didn't think about the show or my career, or I was just like, what is going to be comfortable to me? And everything about being on that show felt, Kim and I talk a lot about the warmer, colder method. It felt warm and fuzzy and right. And so to me, energetically, I was like, something is happening here. Something else is happening here. So that's kind of what I knew. And I knew that kind of from the get-go. Kim?
I was startled every single time they called me, and every single time I wanted to know if I was dying. There was a time when it looked like they were teaming up Jody and Bobby. And I remember when Jim and I both talked about that, and we were like, that sounds great. And he said that he'd talked to the writers about that matchup, and we were like, that's great for Bobby. Like, I felt very, I wanted to see that happen for Bobby. And then I remember I was up there and he said, I need to talk to you. And he brought me in and he said, I just want to give you a heads up that they are killing my character. And I just started to cry. And he was like, it's okay, honey. I was like, I don't want your character to die. And then I put together, and then they aren't going to need me. I mean, like, they're going to, I'm not going to come back. Like, if you're dead. And that was the secondary response was like, and I'm going to be out of a job. But really, I don't want Bobby to die. Like, I just was like, no, Bobby can't die. He can't die. But that was when they brought me back again, I was like, but why would you need me? And they were like, no, you're still a character on the show. And so it wasn't until Robert Barron's episode, Alice, Annie, Alexis, Anne. Annie, Alex, Alexis, Anne. You know the one I'm talking about. Where I went, I actually get to show up. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that was my. Wait, so what time do we have to stop? We have to stop at 12:01?
Yeah,
should we
just text Brittany.
It said,
I want to show you something. Have you tried these?
Tabby is really into having people try the harvest snacks.
Tabby, those are literally my favorite snacks. We have 17 different flavors. I'm just kidding. We have probably 2, but that's enough.
Snacks.
I love
snacks in our house.
Do you like the
She knows one last question. Hold on, Tabs. We got to take one more question. I do like the question. What kind of breed? Wait, things are moving. Wait, stop. What breed of dog would you be if you could?
Kim, you have to pick one.
I think. Well, let's see here. I think. I would say you would be like a French bulldog. I have to. You read go look at the chat for me, because you're cuter than a pug. And French bulldogs have this thing that you can. French bulldogs is what Emily Swallow has. Norma Jean's a French bulldog. They're beautiful, but like so funny, and you cannot have them come into a room without the room being better for you being in it. I feel like I'm too lazy to be a border collie or a Jack Russell or I would be a German Shepherd cattle dog. I don't know. That's what we have. I would be. You know what?
I could do that.
I would be a mix. I honestly would be a pit bull mix. I would probably be, because they are like goofy and great with children and like to sleep and generally get on the wrong side of societal expectations.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what
Brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. Tabby's giving you heart. When you're both done, just say your goodbyes. Okay, so Tabby, you're going to say goodbye to Brianna.
She's leaving.
Well, we're both leaving because we're going to stop the thing.
Wait, Brianna?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime we can come and visit.
I would love that. Love that.
We miss her, huh? Because she's up in Canada.
Yeah. Oh, and maybe we could go out to
Just
Bear.
Oh, I've heard it's so fun, right? I've just finally shipped all myself.
Oh, did you get your stuff back?
No, I've just shipped it. I've just I've just hired U-Haul. They get there on Monday. I'll get it at the end of August or
We should
something.
try these people.
And we should. Okay. And veggie puffs. There you go. Thank you.
Supernatural fandom family. We're so grateful for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for holding space for Kim and I to have this friendship in front of you. We do have it behind the scenes as well. This is not pretend, but we love an audience. Okay, we love you guys so much.
We love you.
Hugs and kisses.